From the outside, Everton's transfer strategy during last summer's window appeared confused at best and foolish at worst. Ronald Koeman and Director of Football Steve Walsh splashed out £140 million and welcomed 8 new players into the first-team squad. Less than 2 months after deadline day, the Dutchman had been sacked when Koeman was given the boot. Everton were struggling at both ends of the pitch, toothless up front and spineless at the back. Wayne Rooney and his teammates applaud the away fans after Everton's defeat at Tottenham. Theo Walcott is set to become Everton's second signing of the January transfer window. New boys Davy Klaassen, a £23 million buy from Ajax, and Sandro Ramirez, who shone in La Liga last term, had both failed to impress and could barely make the squad, let alone the starting 11. Wayne Rooney was struggling for form after being shunted from position to position, and record signing Gylfi Sigurdsson appeared to be worth a fraction of his £45 million fee. Michael Keane's solid start had quickly disappeared, and Cuco Martina was doing little to suggest that his free transfer from Southampton was a wise move. Jordan Pickford and young winger Nikola Vlasic were being deemed, among supporters at least, as the only early successes of the summer spending spree. It has been little surprise then that the arrival of Sam Allardyce as manager seems to have coincided with a change in transfer policy. Of all of last summer's big-money signings, only Sigurdsson, who turned 28 within a month of moving to Merseyside, could be described as being in his prime. Gylfi Sigurdsson was Everton's only big-money buy last summer who is in his prime years. Ronald Koeman was sacked as Everton boss in October following an awful run of form. The club added 5 for the future to their under-23 squad and sent 20-year-old Henry Onyekuru out on loan to Anderlecht after winning the race to sign him. Rooney, now 32, is approaching the end of his career, with Pickford 23, Keane 24, Sandro 22, and Vlasic 20, all looking forward rather than back. It is therefore telling that Allardyce's second signing at Goodison Park will be Theo Walcott, who turns 29 in March but brings with him 12 years of Premier League experience. The Arsenal forward could cost up to £25 million if the terms of his move are met. But for Everton's boss, he is likely to be worth every penny. Allardyce is a manager for the here and now. He signed an 18-month deal in late November with a remit to stave off relegation fears and climb the table, a feat he was in the process of achieving admirably until a recent poor run. Walcott challenges Bournemouth's Lys Mousset during his last appearance for Arsenal. Everton boss Sam Allardyce wants his January signings to hit the ground running this month. In previous years, before the arrival of billionaire Farhad Moshiri, the club's plan was often to buy younger players with a resale value. At the end of his contract, Walcott will have virtually none. The change in Everton's thinking is partly due to the huge rise in transfer fees, but it also comes down to impatience for success. Allardyce sees Walcott, who scored 108 goals for the Gunners, as someone ready to provide an immediate impact after the disappointments of Klaassen and Sandro, 2 players who have so far failed to settle into English football. Rooney and company have not managed a single shot on target during their 2 Premier League games this year and have scored just 1 goal in their last 5 top-flight games. The manager knows that needs to change. Walcott adds pace, something Everton have lacked throughout the team all season, and a desire to take players on and shoot. He scored 19 goals in all competitions last term, and it is hoped regular football will allow him to hit that sort of form again. Walcott has found playing time hard to come by at Arsenal and is now set for a fresh start. Speaking about Walcott last week, Allardyce made it obvious that he expects the forward, who was also a target for West Ham, to hit the ground running. He said, Walcott is the right age with the right experience to make an impact on Everton. 28 is prime age for a player. In today's Premier League, because of all the experience and knowledge he has gained, he should be at the peak of his career. The former Southampton star will join Cenk Tosun as part of Allardyce's new-look attack following the striker's £27 million move from Besiktas earlier this month. After failing to replace Romelu Lukaku last summer, the Turkey international is seen as the man to provide the goals and attacking impetus which has been missed in so many of the Toffees' underwhelming performances this term. And like Walcott, 26-year-old Tosun should be in, or at least close to, the best years of his career. The age of his squad is clearly something Allardyce is concerned about. He described Tosun as being in that elite age group shortly before signing him and bemoaned not having enough players between 26 and 30. Cenk Tosun, right, tussles with Moussa Dembele during his debut for Everton at Tottenham in Walcott. The former England manager now has another and someone with a determination to prove himself all over again at a new club. The 28-year-old could have stuck around in London with his friends and family, playing almost exclusively in the Europa League. But with a World Cup around the corner, he has opted to move well outside of his comfort zone. Tosun, meanwhile, decided to turn his back on the Champions League knockout stages with Besiktas in order to become a success in Europe's top division. The pair will not be the answer to all of Everton's problems, with a new left-back and ball-playing central midfielder among those needed if they are to again compete for a European place. But if Allardyce can reinstall the defensive solidity he initially brought with him, Walcott might just be the man to add an instant spark at the other end of the pitch.